We live.
Good morning. Hello. It is Sunday morning. And let's pick it up, Kushner. Let's go. Let's have a good Sunday, boys. Hanging out here in Denver. It's going to be 91 degrees. Haven't seen the sun in a couple of days. We got a ton of smoke going on. Let me just put the sun backwards. Screw it. All right. I'm a disaster. Rise and say something.
Why is there no viewers? That's 48. There we go. I was like, wait, we ain't got anybody watching. But yeah, it's Sunday morning. It looks like the three of us all got the hangover blues, but Holden, you got the sniffles, and JT and I are, we got to wake up. We're going to
the COVID's
winners to look at.
The COVID's a little more than the sniffles, buddy. I mean, I know you don't give a shit. It's a fake disease and something, but it fucking sucks. It's the worst thing ever.
You'll be all right. Get you some of that.
Fine. I didn't miss a shift.
Get you some of the Modelo's. Get you some of the Modelo's, and they'll help you out.
I don't drink. What's up, JT? How are you, pal?
Man, I'm doing good. I'm worried about you. This is maybe 3 Sundays in a row, and you look, you look fine. I don't want to say you look terrible, but you don't look like you, right? I mean, Looks like you need a Snickers or something, or maybe a couple of shots of some heavy drugs. So I don't know. I hope you make it through.
What kind of drugs are you talking about, pal?
I'm talking about something that would, combat the plague that you have.
NyQuil, like heroin. What are you leaning? Which way are you leaning?
No, nothing like that. None of those exotic luxury drugs. Something very simple. Maybe a strong antibiotic that they make in a foreign country.
For gonorrhea, yeah.
He needs one of them goodie packs.
RPS NFL 15% off for life, not for a month. You live a year, you get 15% off for a year. You live 30 years, and we're still around at 30 years, you get 15% off for 30 years. NFL's coming up. Let's go. I'm extraordinarily excited about this. RPS NFL 15. JT, I don't know what the hell you're doing for football season. I hope you do a whole bunch with us. Me and G Risen and Uncle T do the Old Guys podcast. That's a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to just talking shit with you guys. And thank you for cock blocking me, G Risen. I'm obviously in an interesting mood this morning. Thank you for cock blocking me this week on Twitter too. You're 50 years old and you're still cock blocking people.
I giggled for 10 minutes straight about that. I was just laughing. I thought that was one of the funnier things of the day that day. That was fabulous. That was wonderful. And just to know that with your response, it made it even sweeter.
Yeah, she doesn't like you.
Well, that's okay.
Have I lost weight? AIDS. It is, you're disgusting. I do not have the AIDS. Okay. I mean, you're a disgusting human being, Brian K. How could you say that? Uncle T is here too. Don't sugarcoat it, JT. He looks like shit. All right. This is what I got for you. Let's move on and talk about today's slate. RPS NFL 15. It's the way to go. 15% off for life, JT. 15% off for life. How old were you when you went bald?
7.
So we got big slate today. 10 games on the early one. 10 games on the early slate. Oh, boy. Let's talk about some guys that are in your pool. We'll start with you, JT. Is Zack Wheeler in the pool today? Is your boy Max Fried in the pool today? Lance McCullers. Boy, there's a lot of guys I could go to. Up and down. And what about our boy Geronimo Heel, who I'm supposed to call Gil because Tony told me to play him and then he smashed. So what do you got here for our pitcher pool?
Yeah, I think you have to look at Zack Wheeler. I mean, the Mets team, I saw a metric this morning. Their average runs in the first half of the season about just a little bit more than 3.5. And in the second half of the season, despite some trades and acquisitions, still the same 3.5 runs per game. So the Phillies lineup looks like it's not as bad as we thought it was going to be. Segura is in there. Harper is in there. So I think it's an opportunity for the Phillies to get a win. Taijuan Walker has been just terrible. There's no chance I'm playing him at 9-1 against the Phillies lineup. That's been pretty good. I think the guy who is interesting to me, you talked about Luis Hill. At just 6'5", I mean, there's some power in this Mariners lineup, but we're going to need, I think, to find some mid-range value in the pitchers here because, of course, the Rays are once again in a smash spot against Jorge Lopez. The Reds are once again in his smash spot against Bryce Wilson in that small park in Cincinnati. So definitely there. I think he could look to Hyun-Jin Ryu in a matchup against the Red Sox. Red Sox and Jays played a doubleheader yesterday. He's not my favorite. I don't love the price point on him at 9.4, but he's definitely in the mix of what I'm thinking right now. And you go down, I think there's probably 10 pitchers you could consider. Wow. I think, I don't love Tyler Mahle at these close to 10K price points, so probably going to be a pass on him for me. And then you've got Max Fried at 8.8 against the Nationals. You talked about Fried just a minute ago. He's done well, and then he's had games where he's been really bad. But I think on a Sunday in Atlanta, you could do a lot worse than Max Fried here at 8.8, and then Lance McCullers in a matchup against Minnesota. So those are all guys I'm considering as we start off looking at this slate.
Dude, this Nationals lineup has just been so awful. And the fact that they continue to score 3 runs a game is just mind-boggling. I don't understand how it's happening. Literally, Josh Bell is the only major league hitter in their lineup. Gerardo Parra was playing in Japan. This is just an awful lineup. So Max Fried has got to be at least in the conversation today. G. Risen, let's get to you, pal. Who is in the pool of trust with pitching today? Do you go 10 deep like JD?
No, not today. I think I'm going to play 50 teams on FanDuel, and I mean Zack Wheeler is by far the top pitcher of the slate. I mean, he's got the highest K percentage, the lowest hard hit rate, the lowest walk rate. He's probably, he's got a good matchup. I think he's going to be pretty chalky, which, I think there's other places to get different, but a couple pivots from him might be Mahle. I do like Fried, maybe McCullers, and then this rookie that you guys are talking about.
It's Heel.
Okay,
right.
Heel.
He won for us, so we're going to call.
You know what? You've got the pronunciation police in the chat. They are going to come after you if you don't say it right.
They have no idea how to say this kid's name. He's only had one start.
I don't know. Every time I say a name, they seem to have a better way to do it.
Dakota, I think Soto's going to be out again. He's really not feeling well. If he's in there, fine. They got 2 major league hitters, but he's been missing time. All right, G. Risen, who else is in the pool here?
Yeah, so like I said, I think I only got like 4 or 5 guys here that I'm even considering playing. I think there's such a drop off after. And like I said, Wheeler, Mahle, Fried, McCullers. I'm not as interested in McCullers, but Fried, Mahle, and Wheeler are my preferred choices here. I think of my 50 teams, I think I'm going to have at least probably 35 or 40 are going to probably be Wheeler. I'll figure out how to get different elsewhere.
By the way, if you're going with the Blue Jays today, Bo Bichette is off. So that's interesting. Chris Sale's coming back. That'll be pretty good. And next Saturday. And we got no Anthony Rizzo in the Yankees lineup. We got no Josh Donaldson for the second day in a row. Freddie Freeman's out. Yesterday, they decided to play him. He had an upper respiratory issue. And they just said, hey, okay, you know what? Why don't you go out there and try and play some baseball? We'll see how that works out for you. So those are some of the bigger names that are off here. All right, so I think we went through the pitching pool. Can you just give me your top 2 pitchers here, JT? Top 2 pitchers on DK. 1 and 2.
On DK, I think, it's Wheeler, McCullers. I don't think you're going to be able to fit them unless you're doing a game stack in St. Louis, which we will talk about later. I actually hate that ballpark, but some things I see there. So I think number 2, it's going to come down to either Fried or perhaps Heel at that 6.5 price point, just because I don't know that I want to play a Johnny Cueto today. I hardly ever roster this guy. I don't think the upside is there. And I think that with the dearth exhaustion factor of the Yankees bullpen, I think there's a good chance that you might be able to scratch out 6 innings from Heel and 20 DK points. I think that's enough today.
All right, who's the SP1? G. Risen on FanDuel.
Oh, that's by far Wheeler.
Okay, very good.
Wheeler by far. I think today is a situation where you have. I think he's a far and above better than everybody else on the slate. So I think he's going to be pretty chalky. But like I said, I'll figure out how to get different elsewhere.
Hold on, we got a Yankees COVID outbreak now. Oh boy.
We've had one for a couple of weeks, but now it's making its way through the team.
Right, yeah, Rizzo's got the COVID, so this could be a very interesting upcoming week for the Yankees. There's going to be some guys getting some opportunities, and one of those guys is Luke Voit. So we can talk about Luke Voit in just a little bit. Before we get to offense, though, gentlemen and ladies, if you're out there, RPS NFL 15. This is probably our best promotion that we've had because a lot of them are, 50% off your first payment, 20% off your first payment. This locks you in for life. 15% off for life. Simple as that. RPS NFL 15 because our NFL content is coming up. And I just talked with JSU on Friday. For some reason, they put him in charge of shows. I don't understand why. But Monday through Friday, we're going to have a show at the same time at different shows. That's going to be spectacular. We got a couple free podcasts for you. The Old Guys Pod with me and Uncle T and G Risen. Do you think we're going to get angry Uncle T this year, G Risen? I need angry Uncle T. Do you think we get him? Because he morphed into a personality last year.
I'm thinking that we're going to get the whole full arsenal of Uncle T this year. Because I think when we started out last year, we were all, Uncle T and I were a bit we were rookies at that point. We hadn't even really done too many of these type pods. And I think we were more worried about things and letting ourselves personalities come out. So, yeah, I think the Uncle T is going to come out and we're going to have some fun this year.
Yeah, he's an angry gentleman when you get on that show. So that'll be coming out. Young Guys Podcast. I work with Rubio and Title. I tried to get that one canceled, but they're making me do it anyways. It is called The Wishbone, and Uncle T is in the house. He's in there in the chat saying hit the like button. How many likes we need? I don't even have the YouTube up. I don't know how many likes we have. Yeah, how many we got? How many do we need? JT, come up with a number.
Yeah, we're at 69 right now. Holden, 69 likes is what I see right now. I mean, that's not enough.
That's
It's a nice number. It's a nice number. Everyone likes it, but that's not enough.
It.
202 watching. All right, we jumped to 73, 75. I would say we get to 110. If 200 are watching, once we get to 300 watching, we need 2/3. We need 200.
Nape, I am not listening to Limp Bizkit this morning. The hair's uncontrollable, Nape. I can't do it, pal. All right, let's get moving here.
Listen to. That's a good call. I like some Limp Bizkit.
Did it all for the Nookie. That was their big song, right? And then Chocolate Starfish was another one. Just great stuff. So JT likes to go game by game. I think it's an awful strategy, but you know what? JT, a lot scarier than I am, so we're going to pander to him. We are already throwing Zack Wheeler, so we're not playing any Mets, are we? So let's go to the Phillies. Taijuan Walker needs to be shut down. And I say this because the innings just haven't been there the last couple of years. Been injured. We had a shortened season last year. And the dude's just hit a wall. It's as simple as that. He goes out there and the Mets have very little chance of winning these games. The Phillies, the Rays. I mean, there's a handful of teams out here. Toronto, obviously. Cincinnati. I'm looking at a lot of teams with some big totals. Where do the Phillies land on the offenses today, JT Hayes?
Yeah. Well, behind Walker, you also have a pretty awful Mets bullpen. It's the environment here. There's some other games where we'll see where there's, in addition to bad pitching and bad bullpens, there's some weather that looks pretty good for hitting. This is not one of those spots. This is not the best Phillies lineup that you'll see. I do kind of like Odubel Herrera when he leads off. And, I think it's a good spot for the Phillies, but I will probably keep this to three-mans. I mean, I will say a guy who I think goes overlooked a lot, who just continues to play great baseball, hit another 2 home runs yesterday in the game against the Mets, Brad Miller, in the 5-hole against Taijuan Walker. It's a really good matchup for him. It's a good matchup for Odubel and Bryce Harper. So I think that's kind of where my interest lies here on the Phillies side of things, in those left-handed hitters.
And nothing on the Mets, right?
No, I really can't get interested in this offense in this team right now. They're just, not for me.
All right, G. Risen, anything from this game, either side?
Yeah, I don't I'm not a fan of any of the Mets. Like I said, I think Wheeler's going to be my SP1 on FanDuel. But as far as the Phillies, I think there's some better spots, like JT said. I mean, with all the teams I'm playing, I don't even think I'm going to have any Phillies. Their best bat is Harper. I think he's one of the most overrated baseball players of all time. But I can't stand playing them. So the Phillies are generally a team I generally don't play so I'm just not a fan. It looks like it's going to be mid 70 degrees, winds blowing in like 10 miles an hour. I think that's what JT's referring to when we're talking about better hitting spots today. So I think for me, the only interest I have here is Wheeler.
They like your shirt, G Ryzen. They like your shirt. What would it take for you? How many likes would it take for you to take that shirt off, not wash it, and send it to a viewer if we get to 300 likes?
Well, I can always I could talk to the top brass, and, they may not be the same size as me. I'm a fit, lean dude, No, you're not. You never know.
You're absolutely not.
I know. It sounded good, though. I mean, I got the total beard. It looks like you put a bowling ball in front of me, but it's all right.
Yeah. Nape, the Reds are raking. I was at the game last night. You know what? I got a story that's good. I went outside yesterday, and it was hot. Good story, Nape. Also,
you didn't go outside. You're white as a damn ghost.
Huh?
I said you didn't go outside. You're white as a damn ghost.
My camera, man.
Looks like we've been at the pool.
It's interesting. So 300 likes. You probably won't get a shirt, but you might as well try. JT, if there's a game that you think is just crap, let's say it's just crap. But I do not think this Tampa Bay lineup is crap today. I absolutely love it. I'm still debating whether or not they're going to score 6 runs. They have scored double digits the last 2 games. They have the fourth most runs per game in baseball. Like, people, I don't know why the Rays do not get the respect that they deserve. Tony had them. That's the 3rd time I brought up Big T. That's his name is banned from my mouth for the rest of the day. Anyways, he had that Rays stack that really helped us cash on Friday. Rays today. JT Hayes, 5.7 team total. How do we not play some Rays?
Yeah. I think, you start for me with Austin Meadows. He's one of the guys who didn't hit a home run yesterday, so that's always a good place to start there because he's probably going to go yard today. Up and down this order. I mean, the concern with the Rays at the beginning of the season was that they were half the lineup was platoon guys, right? And as soon as you got a different hand pitcher from the bullpen, you knew that some of these guys were going to go out. That hasn't been the case lately. Even G-Man Choi has been getting some at-bats against left-handed pitching. And with the addition of Nelson Cruz and Wander Franco, who's been up now for about a month, and it just looks outstanding, in particular for a rookie. Up and down this order, you got guys who really aren't going to be subbed out. So you can get a full 5-man stack of this team these days and not worry that you're only going to get a couple of at-bats out of one of those guys or 2 of those guys. So this is a great spot. I think you mentioned, maybe it was before we came on air, how Jorge Lopez, no-hit the Yankees for 5 or 6 innings last time out. It's not going to go nearly as well today. There's just too much power, too many left-handed bats in this lineup. And we've seen the Rays just absolutely destroy the Orioles bullpen both of the last 2 nights. So that bullpen is a bit depleted. You may see, this may be a situation where late in the game you're going to see someone like a DJ Stewart or Richie Martin on the mound.
You're going position player pitcher today. I mean, this could be an absolute whitewash then. Boy, are you with JT Hayes on just like a position player, just a beat down so bad today? Or are they going back to the double digits? And why are your eyes closed and frozen? It was really weird. You looked like one of those dummies, like with the guys in the mouth on it. What's up, G Ryzen?
It must be your internet must be slow or something over there. I don't know. Maybe your internet's got the COVID.
G Ryzen, is it my internet or his?
Yeah, I couldn't tell you. Mine's running. I'm wired in hard, so mine isn't. Mine's good. But anyway, I do really like Tampa. I don't know how you cannot. I mean, Jorge Lopez sucks, if you ask me. I mean, he gets hit from both sides of the plate. That bullpen's terrible. Obviously, Tampa's hot. Addition to Nelson Cruz in the middle of that lineup, they pretty much got lefties all the way around with They got Lowell, they got Lau, Choi, Meadows, Franco, Wendell. I mean, I like these guys. I even like Brett Phillips in the 8 hole. So, I really like the Rays here. They actually might be my top stack of the day at this point. I don't know how you can peel off them. I really like the lineup up and down. I like G-Man. I think G-Man today could go double dong. G-Man gets hot. G-Man hits dongs. That's what I like. So I think G-Man is a pretty strong play today.
I wish my name was G-Man. That would be awesome. Brandon Lau, Nelson Cruz, Austin Meadows. How do we stack these guys? If we all love the Rays, how are we stacking them, JT Hayes? Give me your top 3 or 4.
Yeah, I think I'm with G Rising on G-Man. I like Meadows and can't go wrong with Lau at top. And then I think you need, and it's good because you need one of these guys at the bottom of the order. I think they're going to hit around 2, this Orioles team. By the way, someone mentioned it in chat, and I happened to take note of it, and I was impressed, and my heart was a little touched there to see your Minnie Mouse mug, Holden. It's always good to see when a man takes the gifts that his children give him, no matter where they may be in the world.
I stole it from my ex-wife in the divorce.
Or takes an item of stolen property and a liking to it as well. That also is very nice to see.
Yeah, I don't give this is the ultimate alpha move. What are you talking about? I don't give a shit what you say. He's got Modelo. I don't know what you got over there. You drinking anything?
I mean,
freaking wine cooler or something? Ugh, you drink soda?
It's delicious.
Do you have a belly? Do you have
There's other ways to get back at the ex-wife. My favorite one was when my kids would have to, they'd watch my dog, and I had a golden retriever, so the dog would go over with the ex-wife, and before I'd go over there, I'd feed it White Castles and pork and beans, so it'd fart all day when it was over there. So then the dog was dropping bombs, and I'd get a message, "Hey, what's wrong with the dog?" And I would be in tears, crying, laughing because the dog's got fire coming out his ass. It was classic. Every time I'd go on a live
FanDuel, I was kidding. I didn't steal a freaking $15 mug. What is wrong with you? What? That's why the show is Sunday mornings, not Monday through Friday.
Oof.
Anybody on Baltimore, guys?
I think you can play. I think you can play Mullins. I think you can play Santander. I mean, Waka. Not a great pitcher in Michael Waka. I wouldn't go crazy. Don't love a full stack here, but definitely Mullins. I think you can play.
What's wrong with soda? It's just it's corn syrup and it goes right to your belly and it makes you fat.
It doesn't make me fat.
That's because JT gets out there and play. He's still out there playing baseball, like hardcore. Right. He's playing hardball.
You're almost 50 and you don't have a little belly?
No.
Bullshit. I'm calling bullshit.
All right.
Especially if you're drinking soda and sitting your
guys have seen. Hey, wait a minute. Actually, there's no debate here. G Rising, tell the man.
Have you ever seen him?
Yeah, JT and I, we hung out over Big T's. We were, we were drinking buddies. We were hanging out.
JT wasn't even there.
Yes, he was.
Was it the whole weekend?
He got in the car with me and Hoop when we had to go get some liquor when Big T spent like $5,000 at the liquor store. And we came out with like 4 carts full of booze and beer and shit like that. JT was there and he actually complimented and said, Jerizon, that shit you have in your bag is top quality. And yes, sir.
Did you smoke with him? You can't. You'll lose your you'll lose
No. He was in his car. It was in his car.
It was in my duffel bag.
Yes, you totally.
And then the whole garage stunk up too. I stunk up Big T's whole garage.
You're a horrible house guest. You are a horrible house guest, G Rising.
Well, I thought we were actually getting our own hotel room, so it was what it is.
By the way, there's 2 types of people that have 6-packs at JT's age. First of all, my gay uncle, and second of all, actors. So which one are you, JT?
I didn't say I had a 6-pack. I just said I don't have a belly.
Yeah, whatever, dude. Next game to get to, RPS NFL 15 is our code. Hit the like button, blah, blah, blah. Seattle and the Yankees again. Anthony Rizzo has the COVID. No bueno, amigos. They're going up against Kikuchi today. They scored 5 runs off Kikuchi. The last time he started against them, maybe it's 3-4 starts ago, not too long ago. G-Rise, let's start with you here. Any Yankees that you want to attack Kikuchi with? And what about Seattle going up against our boy Heel?
Yeah, there's a little bit of weather. I think it's raining there before. I think it's supposed to clear out of there before the game starts. So there may be a slight delay, but I think it should be okay from what I'm seeing. But yeah, Kikuchi, though, he doesn't really get blown up all that much. It always seems like he's going 5-6 innings. He did have a blow up against the Yankees and Angels a few starts back, but I mean, the guy's consistently getting, 6 innings, like I said, only giving up 3 earned runs. Matter of fact, against Oakland, he had struck out 12 guys, 7 against Houston. Kikuchi's a guy that if you really wanted to have had a deep player pool, you might be able to throw him in as a pitcher you might want to consider against the Yankees just because they do have a lot of strikeouts over there. But, I mean, that's extremely risky. I think the Yankees, they always have upside. You always got to consider the Yankees with upside. I think this game really is it could blow up for a lot of runs or both pitchers could pitch pretty well and you could get really nothing out of it. I mean, you do got a rookie going. He did have a 5.6 ERA in AAA. So obviously he was getting beat up a little bit there. So, the Seattle bats might be a sneaky stack against a player that I think, especially on DK, I think a lot of people are going to use the youngster, and I think Seattle is a great leverage spot against that kid. So, take it for what it's worth. But I do like a little bit of it. But if I was building 10 teams, I probably wouldn't touch either side.
Okay, what about you, JT? Anything here?
I think you could take some shots on the power one-offs on the Yankees. Luke Voit, you mentioned, is back today. Voit has a tendency, the last couple of times he's come off the IL, he's hit a home run in his first game back. So Kikuchi, a fly ball pitcher in that smaller stadium. I'm not loving a full stack here, but maybe one-offs like Stanton or Voit for me. And then, I think G-Rise makes a good point with Heel having just an outstanding game. That was against Baltimore in his start. Consistency is a tough thing for these rookies to find in the major leagues once they get up there. And nothing would surprise me from Hill today. A 3-inning performance where he gives up 5 runs or, another 5-inning performance where he strikes out 7 and gives up a couple. So I think it's a situation where you can either take a stand or you could have a little mix of both if you're multi-entering.
Okay. Remind everybody, we're at 139 with 302 watching. The ratio is good. It would be nice to get to 200 likes here pretty soon. Also, NFL season, it's here. Let's go. We only got 3 preseason games this year, and then we're going to be ready to go for the regular season. All I can say is the team, you think we're good at baseball and NBA, same thing in the NFL. JSU, my guy, we're going to be doing the Up to Lock show for the 4th straight year, and I'll tell you, there's nobody else that I tail more than JSU. Last year, week 1, Aaron Rodgers was washed. We got him at like less than 2%, goes off, and made enough money to be profitable for the rest of the year. And it's not just that.
I won $20K off that call first week, if you recall. I was the first champion of the Run Pure Sports tournament off JSU, saying how Aaron Rodgers was going to be selfish and was going to throw all kinds of touchdowns, and I'd be damned he wasn't right. So it was all right. There's
thanks for adding that, G-Rise, and that was great. So we have live shows all week long. We got we got the Wood Show on Sunday. We got the Up to Lock Premium Show on Sunday. We'll have all of the cores that are posted on Sunday. You get all of the Showdown content, which if you haven't played Showdown, that's a pretty cool way to make money because we got the best Showdown player in the world. He runs the company, but I told you I wouldn't bring his name up again because I've said it too much and I sound like a fanboy. So hit the like button and then sign up. RPS NFL 15% off for the history of the world. Dakota, I know I'm an asshole sometimes. Okay. It's part of my personality. I can't help it. I'm a nice, jovial fellow, and being an asshole is part of my world. So JT, who are you texting there, buddy? What are you looking at? Take the mute off, first of all. Thank you. Who you texting, pal?
I was taking a look at something.
Yeah. Maybe he's
What do you
looking at
think it
them
was?
hot girls on Reddit. Maybe he's
That's
looking at
right.
Gone Wild.
That's right.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, let's get back to baseball. We got some baseball to do today. Boston, Toronto. Again, Bo Bichette is out. Toronto gets to face Garrett Richards, though. JT, how many good offenses can we talk about today? Here's another team in a smash spot. The problem is well, Bichette's out. So we got Vladdy at 6'2", Springer at 5'5". All he does is hit bombs. Simeon hit a walk-off yesterday. And both these teams played a doubleheader. Neither one of them could score. Are you on Toronto today?
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned it, right? There's a bunch of teams in good spots. It's a good time to talk about the Sky Dome. The Jays did score a ton of runs there on, I think it was Friday night. They went off for 12 or 14 runs. They did score a bunch of runs against Cleveland in the series before that. They're going to be low owned, I suspect, on this slate because of the spots that Tampa and Cincinnati are in and because of what they've done the last couple of days. So definitely potentially a leverage spot here for the Jays. They don't come in as my top stack here, but you can't argue with how bad Garrett Richards has been, in particular the last month and a half.
Yeah. What are you doing here, G Risen? What are you doing with this game? Anybody on the Boston side, too? I don't know why you would pick on Hinjin, but what's your take on this game?
Yeah, I'm not going to pitch on or pick on Ryu. I mean, Ryu just doesn't get blown up that often. I mean, it's pretty rare. And as we know, they got a humidor up there in Toronto, as JT has mentioned before. But that Toronto lineup, it just looks pretty weak to me today. It doesn't look like a good, when you compare it to some of these other teams that are in good spots, like the Rays or, a couple of these other spots here today. I mean, you get down, you got Corey Dickerson, Gurriel, Villarreal, Espinal, and then McGuire at the bottom. I'm not a fan of bottom part of that lineup today. So even though it is Garrett Richards, I mean, he has been giving up 3-4 runs every start. The full stack here for me, I just don't know if they're going to turn the lineup over. I think the bottom of the lineup is just a bunch of road bumps for me. So I think there's other spots. I think maybe if you want to pick off maybe a one-off. I mean, Corey Dickerson is 2K on FanDuel. I mean, obviously min price. That's not a bad play, but I just can't see myself really stacking up Toronto with that high team total with a lineup like that. I'm not a fan.
Not a fan. Let's go to Cincinnati. This is the team that's interesting. They have the highest. Yeah, they have the highest implied total today. You don't see 6.5 very often. G Rising, you don't see 6.5. They're going against Bryce Wilson. Guy hasn't given up, he hasn't given up many bombs. Why are the Reds at 6.5 team total? Like, that's astronomical.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're in the Great American Home Run Ballpark, in Cincinnati. And I mean, they've been crushing. I think right now they're the darlings of offense in baseball. I mean, they've been smashing the shit out of the ball up and down from India to Votto to Winker. They've all been hitting. So, yeah, I can see it. I think they're going to be pretty chalky today. But I do like them all the way 1 through 7. I'm not a fan of Akiyama, but Suarez, Farmer, Stevenson, Votto, I mean, all the way up. I think those guys are in smash spot. Bryce Wilson, I mean, you look at his game logs. I mean, he's gone mid 3, 4, 5 innings. He got blown up against St. Louis, but other than that, he's only been giving up 1 or 2 runs. He's not giving up. He's not really walking too many guys. I like to stack against pitchers that have control issues. That doesn't seem to be a problem for Wilson, but I'm trying to talk myself into fading Cincinnati here, but it's just kind of tough to do. That Pirate bullpen is god awful. So yeah, I just think that Reds team is going to be popular, but I don't know. I just keep trying to. Would I fade it? I want to fade it, but then again, my instincts are telling me I'm being an idiot for fading it. So. I don't know. I think I think they're all going to be 30% owned too.
Trust your instincts, G Rising. What about the Reds here, JT Hayes?
Yeah, I mean, you see 6-6 there. It's partially due to that bullpen. You know you're probably going to get 4 innings, if not more, out of that Pirates bullpen. Remember, the Pirates aren't going anywhere. They traded and got back Bryce Wilson for a reliever. This is really just an opportunity for them to see if there's someone that they, he's someone that they want to keep around next year, if he can be someone that they can develop. So he's not going to go much deeper than 5 innings, even if he's pitching lights out. And it's going to be tough to do against this offense with this power in this ballpark. And I think G. Risen makes a great point. If you're, playing in these large field tournaments, Reds are going to be high owned. The Rays are probably going to be high owned. So it's fine to play them. But if you've got a bit of a different inclination, you're looking at a team that you think is going to score well for their prices. Remember, both the Rays and the Reds are at the top of their price points, right? They are where the Jays were 2 weeks ago when they were scoring 10 runs every other night. So I think from a game theory perspective, perfect sense to either fade or go underweight on the Reds, but I can't say anything to dissuade about the matchup here. It's just an incredible matchup for them once again.
I'd like to make a point. If you are playing the Reds, like we've talked before, try to get different at pitcher. Don't play Wheeler and a bunch of Reds. You're going to be in line with 40% of the people.
Heard a bunch of Reds.
But that's the truth. Like the other night, I had Quantrill. He was 1% owned against the Tigers. He scored 61 points, and I had some chalkier teams, and I did really well. That was the only reason I did well, is because I had that low-owned pitcher. But if you play Wheeler, Reds, and Cincinnati, that's probably going to be one of the most common builds that I think you're going to see on FanDuel today.
Okay. And FanDuel, G-Risen, sorry, hold on. FanDuel, the Reds are still, pieces of that lineup are still pretty cheap, right?
Yeah. Because you got, from 5, the top 4 are expensive. India's 37, Winkers 41, Castellanos 35, Votto 41. But after that, Stevenson's 26, Farmer's 29, Eugenio's 3K, and then I'm not a fan of Akiyama, but he's 2K. So you could fit some pieces the bottom part of that lineup, go 3, 4, 5, 6, and build yourself a pretty nice team. But like you said, if I play Reds, I'm going to have to figure out where to be different, and I think pitcher is where I'm going to try to be different at if I roll some Reds lineups out.
The Astros lineup is out. No Altuve. This is not a good lineup. Chas McCormick, Brantley, Aledmys Diaz hitting third, Yordong, and Correa. Then the bottom goes Tucker, Taylor Jones, Jacob Wilson, Martin Maldonado. Man, I don't remember seeing this. These lineups are just horrific on some of these teams. Now, the Astros at least have 6 actual major leaguers, but the bottom of that, Jones, Wilson, there's some gross stuff down there. Hit the like button. RPS NFL 15. I don't know what else to say, though. G. Risen, anything else that you remember that we do during NFL season? It was so long ago. Shows every week, every day, I should say. I'm pretty sure it's
we got the Sunday morning show up to before lock, which is always a good view, very helpful in your builds. But we have our podcast starting on Tuesdays, and then I know you do a lot of videos about each position and every player, so all sorts of different kind of content over at Run Pure for Football. It's
we getting any bang plays from JT Hayes? Bang plays?
No doubt there will be maybe even a longer bang play video just to cover the big Sunday slate. That's something I'm thinking about.
I like that a lot. So again, RPS NFL 15, best up to lock show in the history of the world. JSU is going to answer your questions every day, and that's it. Alex, I get it. A lot of people are locking in Darnold week 1. Awesome, good for you. Usually the day the pricing drops, I'm really excited about it for the NFL, but I'm still so locked into just researching NFL and playing baseball on a daily basis that I haven't even bothered with it yet. So give me another week and we'll be fine. Detroit and Cleveland. We want to go Tribe today. Oh, Mr. G. Risen. Come on. Willie Peralta. somehow smoke and mirrors, this guy gets it done on a weekly basis. Then all of a sudden he started getting just jacked up with home runs, harder contact. The Indians, yay or nay?
I'll tell you, Willie Peralta for me has probably cost me a couple remotes so far.
Really?
Yeah, you stack against him, and then he gives up. I think even last time against Boston, he gives up 1 earned run. But the 2 games prior, he had Minnesota. He gave up, 6 runs. KC gives up 5 runs. He's just, and of course I wasn't on him at that point in time. I tried to avoid him, so he's been frustrating for me. But yeah, I mean, this Cleveland lineup. I mean, you guys mentioned like a team like Houston don't have any major leaguers. I don't think this Indians lineup is much better. You're looking at Jose Ramirez and Franmil. I mean, other than that, they're all a bunch of 2K hitters here. I mean, that's a pretty cheap stack you can get with Cleveland. I think I might play some one-offs and maybe play a guy like Franmil. Lefties generally do hit Peralta pretty well. I mean, so if you wanted to go to like a guy like Bradley Zimmer, I couldn't argue with you. And then on the other side, the Tigers for me are a pesky team. They get a lot of hits. They're taking professional at bats a lot, but to me, it's like the home runs. They're just not piling up a lot of home runs. Plesac isn't a guy that I was actually thinking about playing Plesac, but I think if I do play him, I'm going to have a Tiger stack too, and I'm going to have both ways. I mean, I think he could have a great game or he could get blown up, so I'm going to stack it both ways. As I said, I'm going to play probably 50 teams on FanDuel, so I don't mind doing that, and I think that's a guy here that you can do that with. But the Tigers' offense is bottom. It's in the middle of the pack for me today. If this Cleveland lineup looked better against Willie Peralta, I think I'd like it a little bit more, but I just don't see much here.
Okay. JT Hayes, Jose Ramirez is a one-off maybe. He's extraordinary. I think he's 6'2" on DK though. What are you doing in this whole game?
Yeah, so it's interesting. I agree on the Tigers. I play them a lot against left-handed pitching. I don't like them nearly as much against right-handed pitching. Plesac coming off a terrible start, but that start was against Toronto, and I'm not going to hold it against any pitcher to give up a couple of bombs against Toronto or have the kind of start that he did. I'll take my L from the other night on Cal Quantrill. He pitched outstanding against this team. He went deep into the game, which I didn't see coming. That was one of the main reasons why I didn't like him, was because I have no idea what the Indians are doing. I mean, they traded away Cesar Hernandez. They are close enough to be in contention for the wild card, but they let him go. And he pitched a damn good ball game. And I actually expect Zach Plesac to have a good, solid bounce-back performance here. He may be someone that I'm a little bit more interested in than Max Fried today. And Millie was on Cal Quantrill the other day. I'll call that out. I actually considered giving Millie a free week, but since she's coming in here with all these hot takes, I'm sure that she doesn't need the free week. She should just sign up and use code RPS NFL 15, right, Olden?
Yep, that's it. RPS NFL 15. Wonderful. Can't say it enough today. Can't say it enough. We're done with that game, right? Can we just move? Is anyone like the Astros today? I kind of just read the lineup out. No Astros, right, G Ryzen? No Astros.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that lineup, really.
Yeah. No bueno today. Maybe today's the day to take off from the Astros. That game is a little bit down the line. Washington, Atlanta, no Freddie, no free money Freddie. He had an upper respiratory issue. They ran him out there yesterday, and it didn't work too well for him. He had one at bat, and then he left. Jorge Soler is hitting a home run every night, going up against Patrick Corbin today. You got to love that. This guy has just been special. 3 out of the last 5 games, he's gone deep. Swanson's on a roll. Riley's on a roll. Albie's on. All these guys on a roll. Adam Duvall. This is looking kind of sexy today, JT Hayes. I don't mind Atlanta. Forget about Washington. I don't even want to bring them up. But, boy, Atlanta against Patrick Corbin. But no Freddie Freeman, so are we going there?
Yeah, I mean, the Braves have scored runs in this series, but they haven't exploded yet. Mm-hmm. Today's that day. I mean, Patrick Corbin is a terrible pitcher. This is a right-handed heavy lineup, a splits heavy lineup if you look at the way that they power the ball against left-handed pitching from top to bottom, beginning with Ozzie Albies, who's always a little bit better against left-handed pitching. And this has been a matchup that the Braves have dominated against Patrick Corbin for several years now. So give me the Braves today.
Give you the Braves today. All right, Mr. G. Risen. He's in Atlanta. Is he biased or is this legit?
I think it's legit. Corbin's just gives up 4 or 5 runs pretty much every start. So, and the Braves are generally a team I do like to use against lefties. Albies is one of my favorite guys to play against lefties. I know we've talked about that a few times in the morning pods with DC. And then, I mean, you look at the lineup, you got Soler, who's been hot since coming over, Swanson, Riley, Duvall. And the weather's nice. It's going to be not much wind, but it's warm there. I think it's in the mid 80s. You got some good hitting weather. I think the Nationals have mailed it in. I don't think they got any life left in them. So I could maybe this is the game we see a position player come out and pitch today. I think the Braves are one of my favorite stacks today. I wish they were on the road and not at home. So we got that one at bat. I tell you, they'd probably be my favorite. I think that's probably why I do like Tampa a little bit more. But yeah, I think the Braves are in a pretty juicy spot here.
Okay. Just want to recap the guys that are out today. Bo Bichette, he's got the day off. Donaldson's out. Freeman is out. Freddie Freeman is out. And today is Anthony Rizzo's 32nd birthday. He's got to sit out because he's on the COVID list. So happy birthday, dog. I got to go do the bet show in about 12, 13, 14 minutes. So let's hustle through the last couple of them. San Francisco, Milwaukee. I mean, this was kind of an offensive festival yesterday. Cueto and Anderson, the pitching matchup. G. Risen, anyone from this game? Because we're not stacking it, are we? And the one thing about Anderson, I don't know, he doesn't give up home runs, man. He does not give up home runs. He has not been giving up extra bases. He's just getting the job done, and I can't stand it.
Yeah, I mean, both these two pitchers aren't, really good DFS options, but then again, they're just really not somebody that you really want to attack either. I mean, they're just generally, both of them aren't getting beat up. The Brewers bullpen on the back end generally is really good. So, but I mean, the Brewers been playing some good ball. I can't, that lineup looks good. I mean, up and down 1 through 9 looks pretty healthy, except obviously the pitcher, but 1 through 8. But yeah, I just think there's better spots here to attack. But if I was going to play one of the sides, I think I would end up probably playing the Giants here. I do like some of these Giants bats against a lefty. Flores is a guy I like to play against lefties. Ruff is a guy I like to play against lefties. So yeah, I do like San Fran a little bit, but I can't say they're too high up. But I'm not sure if that roof is going to be open there in Milwaukee. I'm going to assume it will be, and it's like 88 degrees there.
What the hell's going on?
I don't know. That was some kind of sound like a wave crashed into us.
It does. So now I'm with KT. We'll just do that for the last 10 minutes. What do you got from the Brewers and the Gigantes?
Yeah, I think G. Risen summed it up particularly well. This isn't exactly my favorite spot. I could see one-offs from either side.
You want my core, my min cash core squad? Throw Gill in there, heel from the Yankees, and then 4 Tampa Bay Rays, and that's it. That's what we got. It's pretty simple. 170. Oh, we're almost at 200 likes, guys. They actually like us. Woo! So go for it. Let's get us to 200. That'll make us feel good on this Sunday morning. Already talked about Houston. This lineup's not great today without Altuve going up against Maeda. So now that we got the Houston lineup, is Maeda in play? And is there anybody from Minnesota or Houston that we want to roster, JT Hayes?
Jordan obviously has been hitting a home run almost every night. Like him a little bit. Yeah, I don't love this game for offense. I don't love this park normally for offense. Maeda, I don't have a ton of interest in pitching even with this lineup, but I also don't have a ton of interest in the Astros.
Okay, that was simple. G. Risen?
If the Astros lineup look a little better, I might consider playing them here against Maeda. I mean, last game Maeda gave up 5 earned runs to the Reds, 5 innings, gave up 7 hits. So I mean, you can get to Maeda, but I just you got Diaz hitting in the 3rd spot. Taylor Jones, Wilson, Maldonado. I mean, I'm not a fan of those 4 guys, and even McCormick up at top. So I just think it's a little weaker, watered down Houston lineup. I'm not going to go there. And then McCullers, I'm not going to play any Minnesota bats. I think McCullers is a pretty strong play today. So yeah, I'm going to be off the bats on Minnesota.
JT Hayes, let's wrap this thing up here. St. Louis and Kansas City. I don't know if you want to target Bubik. I can't stand that ballpark. I can't stand the St. Louis lineup, to be honest with you. And then on the other side, John Lester against the Royals. Okay, John Lester could be a gas can today. Guys like Emmanuel Rivera, Edward Olivares, Michael A. Taylor in the lineup. Not a great lineup, Hunter Alberto, but there are some pieces like Merrifield, Salvador Perez. So anybody from KC St. Louis today in the circle of trust.
Yeah. So this is a park that I hate as well. It's a humidor park. Obviously, we've talked about that. Suppresses runs normally, but 91 degrees in St. Louis today with a 15-mile-an-hour wind blowing out with Chris Bubik and John Lester on the mound. If you don't like this spot, then I don't think that you like daily fantasy sports because, first of all, this Kansas City lineup is on its face, it looks like it's a pretty weak lineup. Salvador Perez is back in the lineup today, and I'll remind people that this is the same lineup that smashed Lucas Giolito and the White Sox bullpen on Tuesday night. And they get a very similar matchup here against a pitcher that's considerably worse than Lucas Giolito, but a bullpen that is every bit as bad as the Chicago White Sox. On the other side, they've got the same weather, and they actually have a lot more power in the Cardinals lineup with guys like Goldschmidt. Arenado hit a home run last night. Tyler O'Neill, down to Harrison Bader, who's 2-7. I think a pretty contrarian game stack would be here in St. Louis, and it's one that I'm going to have a couple of shares of because I think this is a spot that you can game stack. I also think it's a spot where it will help you get in higher price pitching with teams like the Rays, the Braves, the Reds, pieces of this game because I think there's going to be runs scored here today.
So JT Hayes just said, I don't like daily fantasy sports, G. Risen. Do you agree with him?
Well, I agree with his position and his take that that's a pretty strong game to play. I think it's going to be under the radar. I mean, you look at it, it's like the 3rd highest total on the game, 9.5, and it's not really being talked about. I mean, you look at it, if you get any kind of base runners on, if Merrifield or Lopez get on, I'm going to assume, they're going to end up stealing a bag off Lester. So I do like that. And then, as JT mentioned, the Cardinals have quite a bit of power on the right-hand side. I mean, Arenado's always somebody we like to play against the lefty. So I think there's potential here for some runs. I like JT's call of having a game stack. And quite frankly, I plan on having 1 or 2 of them, 3 of them myself in my 50 lineups that I'm going to play today.
I mean, Whit Merrifield is 4K flat on DraftKings. I think it was 2 weeks ago. He was in the mid-5s, right? So it's just a great spot for a team that's priced down. Olivares hit a home run the other night. Like I said, this team scored, I think, 10 or 12 runs on the White Sox on Tuesday. And, man, what's John Lester going to do with this lineup, right?
Okay. We are done with our plays, or at least the breakdown of the plays. I'll remind you one more time, football season. We're a few weeks away. It's already here for me. RPS NFL 15. This is probably our best deal because usually it's 15% off your first payment or 50%. 15% off for life. For life. The life of your subscription. RPS NFL 15. Get all our premium shows, including the Up to Lock show on Sunday, which is extraordinarily valuable. JSU's picks, breaking news, everything else you're going to need there. You'll get our course, JSU, Big T, Hoop, G Risen, JT Hayes, all of them. You're getting everything. RPS NFL 15. Hit the like button. Let's get to the Eiffel Tower. Play of the day. What shall it be, JT?
Yeah, I'm going to stay in St. Louis. I just said Whit Merrifield is $1,500, $1,600 cheaper than he was 2 weeks ago. He gets a matchup against Lester, who gives up a ton of hard contact to righties, a ton of power to righties. And anyone who gets on first base is going to have an easy time of running around the bases today because Lester simply can't hold anybody on. Take a quick look. I think Yachty, I don't know if Yachty's in the lineup or out of the lineup. Yeah, it's Andrew Kisner is behind the plate. So an even bigger boost to Whit Merrifield.
I like it. That's what I was, Merrifield, Selby. Those are the two guys I think you won off there. All right, G Risen, what do you got?
My play of the day is going to be a name I like to say, and it's G-Man. G-Man Choi is going to be my play of the day. I actually think, as I said earlier, he might hit 2 dongs today.
I'll just stay on that team with the Rays. Brandon Lau. I know he's expensive. 5.6 on DK. 3.3 on FanDuel is a bit more affordable, but I'll stick with the Rays there. Brandon Lau. G-Man Choi and Brandon Lau. It's going to be a beautiful day today. All right, guys. We appreciate it. 12 shy of 200. Little disappointing, but hey, listen, we do this for free. We do this for you. And hit the like on the way out there. JT Hayes, have a wonderful day. G Risen, have a wonderful day. Follow us on Twitter. Where are you on Twitter, JT Hayes?
At JT Hayes Jr.
G Risen?
At G Risen.
And I'm at Holden Radio. And I just tweeted out the link to our bet show, Run Pure Bets. Me, Joey Work, and JJ are about to go on in about 4 minutes. We're going to break down today's slate and give you the best bets. And that's actually it helps your process on the DFS side too, getting the takes from these guys. So that'll be good. For JT Hayes and G Risen, I'm Holden. Thanks everybody for hanging out with us this morning. Go sign up. RPS NFL 15. Bye-bye.